Champions are not born, they are forged, tempered and shaped by the fires of competition. Each year, the nation's best amateur racers enter the flames of the Sports Car Club of America Runoffs, a single, winner-take-all event. This year, the Runoffs returns to Road America, one of the world's greatest and most challenging tracks. Over 500 drivers will take the green in the 48th annual Runoffs. Only 28 will emerge as national champions. The SCCA Runoffs, next on Speedcast TV. We are back at our coverage of the 48th annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs. It is the third year at Road America, the first year on HD, courtesy of our friends at VW, and it is time for a Sedan. This one is going to be spectacular. Let's get it right down to John Bizignano.
Well, I'll tell you guys, this is one of my favorite classes. It's the Detroit Iron, the big V8. Just before the cars went out of the paddock here, just that wonderful V8 noise coming out of those open pipes. Now, Chip, I want you to go into a little bit more explanation after I get off the air, but these guys have 450 horsepower. Trying to get that power down on this wet track is going to be a difficult task for every driver out there. All the cars were on slicks. Now, in the H production race just before this one, drivers were reporting to us that it was raining in different parts of this 4-mile-long circuit. If it starts raining out here and you got 450 horsepower on slick tires, they're going to have to come in the pits and change those things depending on how wet it gets. They could be slipping and sliding with all that power to those rear wheels. It's going to be fun, guys.
John, I think it is going to be spectacular, and you can already see we've got cars spinning on the pace and parade lap, and I don't know whether that's body work or it's just they've hauled junk from the track back on, mud and dirt, but this is what you're dealing with, as John said, with lots of horsepower, slick tires, and a wet track. Let me get right to the starting grid, then we'll address that. On the pole, 5-time gold medalist, defending champion, the 24 of Andy McDermott, the WeatherTech Police Performance Engines Mustang. Joining him, the 09 gold medalist, 74, Tom Slow out of Newbury, Ohio. He's already got a silver this weekend in T1, the Hutter Racing Engines Hoosier Ford Mustang. Starting third, 11-time gold medalist, 4 in A Sedan, 54, John Heinrichsey. He is out of Holly, Michigan, the Hoosier Hawk Heinrock at Pontiac Firebird. Starting fourth, the 48 of Jeffrey Worth out of Silver Spring, Maryland. An amazing story there I'll tell you a bit about. The Hoosier A&C Machine Company Chevy Camaro. Starting in the fifth spot, number 42, Michael Levine in the Renew It Auto Body Ford Mustang. Starting in the sixth spot, number 53, he actually qualified there. He will start dead last as he was late to the grid. That's Thomas West out of Standish, Maine in the Limerick Machine Company Chevy Camaro. Starting seventh is number 17, Edward Hosney out of Galloway, Ohio, the Lasco Ford Pro Systems Mustang. Starting eighth, number 57, Tom Ellis out of Sunrise, Florida, the Palm Express Steeda Mustang. Starting eighth, the number 80 of Dave Venhouse in the Bobcat Illumination Optics Ford Mustang. Starting 10th, number 60, Jim Wheeler, the Hoosier Willwood Brakes Pontiac Trans Am. 11th is 21, Aaron Bailey, the B.F. Goodrich Firebird. Starting 12th, number 9, Joe Trapani and the Trapani Suspensions Camaro. Starting 13th, number 18, Pat Wilmot, the Benchwarmers Mustang. 14th is 67, Chris Peterson. He is in a Ford Mustang. Starting 15th is number 15, Dan Richardson, the Performance Auto Works Camaro. 16th, number 28, Scott Schweitzer in the KMS Autosport Mustang. 17th, number 32, Kelly Lubosch. He is in a Camaro. Starting 18th, number 8, Jerry Post, the Trapani Suspensions Camaro. Starting 19th, number 16, Dennis Carreri in a Ford Mustang. Starting 20th, number 5, Tom Himes in the CH4 Resources Ford Mustang. Starting 21st, number 13, Chris Qualls, the Hassa Chemical Ford Mustang. Starting 22nd is 78, Scott Sanda, the Tro Manufacturing Cadillac CTS-V. McDermott, the white WeatherTech machine, leads him up. We are green. A Sedan, 13 laps, is underway. Tom Slow in that yellow Mustang on his shoulder as they head down into turn one. No love lost between these guys, nor this guy coming up the inside, John Heinrichsey. And all three of these guys have been in the wars for years, particularly not a whole lot of love lost between Heinrichsey and Slow, and you can see the big wiggle for those guys as they come out. And Heinrichsey actually had him, and then McDermott able to get back around the outside, and now an aggressive turn into three. Heinrichsey floats it. Oh, he saved it, Chip.
Saved it. He got in the inside, got loose, and had to back out of it. These guys are just a little too aggressive on the throttle right now, and they got to be gentle and squeeze the power.
Like that.
Oh.
Or not like that.
It's too early.
Accurate. Yeah, that's the 21 of Bailey in that Firebird, and I think that may be, I'm trying to see if that might be Dave Venhouse in that
Pat Wilmot?
Mustang. So, boy, an aggressive move around the outside here coming in, but
he's getting deep. He's getting deep. He's got the rumble strips are not good.
Not going to happen.
Oh, man. Stay out of the gravel.
Oh. Aaron's one of the luckier guys here this weekend to not get that nose and all that weight dropping into the gravel. Look at Heinrich, he's sideways. He saved it, but he's still going to go off. But there is that little bit of pavement there that he was able to gather it up. So some awfully aggressive driving here earlier. But the concern is everybody's watching Andy McDermott, who has immense car control.
Oh, no, we got to spin.
That's Tom Slow going around. And these guys, they just don't want to see McDermott get way out into a lead. And so they're driving aggressively. And the problem is it's allowing McDermott to do exactly that.
I tell you, these guys are being very aggressive and knowing that they have a couple, let's say well over probably 400 horsepower. And you see Heinrich is using the wet line around ring shot on the outside, and he's one of the guys I would think would be able to be gentle on the throttle, but it seems like where he's loose is going into the corner, so he needs to slow up going in, and I think he'll pick it up. He already learned that.
Heinrich is a pretty bright guy.
Oh yeah, he's driven in the rain before.
Right, he's an incredibly successful, one of the winningest drivers in Runoffs competition. He also has a lot of success in the pro ranks. And he was one of the guys who developed and worked as the developmental engineer on the Corvette. So he's got an awful lot of experience in GM equipment just to be in general. Now, Biz was talking about right at the top, and we're seeing it playing out here. Lots of horsepower. There's no traction control. There's no ABS on this. A lot of horsepower, and they're all on slick tires on a very damp track. This is, you're walking a tightrope.
Oh, my gosh. It's definitely... you got to be very careful on, you're going in slow, squeezing the power, and maybe even staying a gear up. Instead of going down a second gear where you normally would be, leave it in third and let it just roll out of the corner, because if you don't need to be having all the horsepower. You basically drive this like a momentum car and right now I think they're just trying to find out where the car has grip.
Right.
I think a lot of them are trying to drive the dry line, and as they track out, a lot of them have big wiggles, and what you're seeing at home there is they're trying to get that power down and put that big horsepower to the ground, and they just need to squeeze it. You can even see, even when they make a move and with power down, it's breaking loose.
On an upshift, they're breaking it loose. And the other thing, too, is that you can actually use some rally technique, can't you? You can drag the rear brake a little bit with your foot coming out of the turns to try and get that to stop spinning it up. If you have to, and right about now they're going to do anything and everything they possibly can. That's that white and red machine is the number 15 of Dan Richardson. This is a sixth spot. Right in front of him is Tom Ellis. And then Michael Levine right in front of them, the number 42. Levine, always one of the fastest guys at the Runoffs, has just had horrible luck in terms of being able to put together medals. He only had one, and it was here last year where he brought home the bronze in third. And, boy, look at Richardson. He is absolutely after Ellis right now as they are coming down here. And this guy that's coming at us, the first guy in the frame, I wanted to tell you this story. This is Jeff Worth. He's out of Silver Spring, Maryland, the Hoosier A&C Machine Chevrolet Camaro. An amazing story for Jeff. He was a big GT5 guy. As a matter of fact, has 3 golds in GT5. Quit racing in 1995 because he ran out of money. He couldn't find sponsors and had to sell his car. He went back to school, went to college to get a degree, and he said, the reason I did it, I got into a field where I wanted to be able to make enough money where I could race again. 95, he returns to racing in 2009. In 09 and last year in Sedan, he gets on the podium. He is the only driver with more than 6 starts in the runoff who has a perfect medal record. He said,
wow.
It's amazing.
A medal every year.
He said 8 times he's raced in the runoffs up until now. This would be the 9th. But the 8 previous times he's run in the runoffs, he's medaled.
That's outstanding.
It's unbelievable. That is just some incredible stuff. And he's got a fight on his hands today, and he's got that guy, that that interesting colored Mustang of Mike Levine in 4th. But Worth right now is sitting in 3rd behind McDermott and Heinrich. And here is Michael Levine as they head down into that very, very tricky kink. And we're getting reports from around the track. Raining in spots.
I saw at the Hawk Performance Bridge there, a lot of guys are coming across, and that's John Slow.
Yep, Tom Slow, and that's, I think, the outside of the carousel, I would think. We'll get confirmation on that, and yep, Kim says it is indeed. And boy, look at Levine. You can see the back end of that thing just twitching like mad. And I'll tell you, the guy who really seems to be aggressive and pretty strong here is the 15 of Richardson. He is really on it at this point.
I wonder if that's Pam Richardson from my area where I'm from, if one of her kids is racing.
Yeah, Dan Richardson, Rockville, Maryland.
Yep.
The Performance Auto Works, Goodyear, Camaro. And folks, this is a story. He's up from 15th, and he is 5th. That is a great start. I wonder if maybe he was the one guy in the field who went, I'm throwing reins on her.
No, I don't know.
You know? Because he is hooked up. That's Jeff Worth.
He does have more bite, it seems like, going to power down, but he also is the same person who made a move in a straight on an upshift, and we saw a wiggle.
That's true. That's true. There's Jeff Worth running in third.
He's
then
railing him down.
Yeah, that's Levine, and here comes Richardson. And then behind him, that's Dave Venhouse and Tom Ellis, and Venhouse is on the move as well. Venhouse had qualified 9th, and Venhouse was a close second to Andy McDermott here in June in the June Sprints, one of the most prestigious national races of the 70 that run throughout the year in the Sports Car Club America. The June Sprints has been around forever, and it is really, really a major event in the SCCA club racing. And Venhouse did not let McDermott get away. So he's a lot of people said he could really do something here, and it sure looks like it. He's up into 6th and is sort of following Richardson right up through the pack here at this point. And Richardson has caught Levine in the battle for 4th. Down into turn 5.
Ooh, using those brakes, didn't he? Wow, getting in there deep. But the thing is, what he's doing is getting the car woed down early. He's releasing off the brake, letting the car roll in the corner, and squeezing back to power. We're not seeing a wiggle on track out. So these are things that you can tell he's smooth and he's on. He's on it. He's got to put his head down, and he's looking good.
He's got his head in it. I mean, he's in the game here completely at this stage. And Levine's closing up a little bit on Worth. There's Worth, that all white Camaro right there. That's your 3rd spot. Then Levine, then Richardson, then Venhouse, and then that red Mustang of Tom Ellis. And it's funny, Andy McDermott back in the day, before A Sedan was a national class, and Andy wanted to run national racing. A Sedan you couldn't, so he ran showroom GT back in the day. And in that class showroom, you can't change components. And back then, the Mustangs, they didn't have rear discs; it was drums. And running at Road America in the sprints, he would very often run out of brakes just before the end of a sprints race. And he said when A Sedan finally was recognized as a national class and he could take his Mustang and put discs on it all around, he said, man, I became a happy camper that day. And he has never set foot out of A Sedan since and has been brilliant at it. And we're getting reports, a lot of rain down in turn 13, which is where we're headed. And that is Venhouse. As now what a move down underneath Richardson, who's been so impressive early, and Venhouse went by him very, very cleanly. Richardson trying to come back at it. And this is the area where we're getting the reports of the heaviest rain right now in the turn 12, 13, 14 area.
I think it's a little wiggle on track out there. I'm just watching for wipers.
Yeah.
And when the wipers are getting turned on.
That's the key. By the way, last time we just completed lap 3, and Andy McDermott, with all of the stuff going on behind, with Heinrichs getting all squirrely and sideways, Tom Slow throwing it off the track, etc., he's got an 8-second lead in 3 laps.
Wow.
And that's,
then Heinrichs is 20 seconds ahead of Worth.
Yep. And we take a look at last lap times. I mean, McDermott running a 2:52.2, Heinrichs a 2:54.6, and then Worth 3 minutes flat. So it's interesting stuff. And there is Andy McDermott, and he has just got it hooked up. He's won 5 gold medals. He's the defending champion. And I'll tell you, one of the greatest drives I've seen in any level of racing, pro or not, was the A Sedan battle at Heartland Park, Topeka a few years ago. It started wet, went dry. They were all out on rain tires, and it was himself, Heinrichs, and Slow. And Andy went out and ran the tires a little too hard, and they were, the rains, and they started chunking and shredding and stuff. He lost speed. Heinrichs and Slow got to the front, and they got into a war, shoving, banging on each other, and rooting their tires. And they finally knocked each other off the track. Andy was able to slip through, and at that point, they all had rotten tires, and Andy's car control on bad tires on a drying track in equal conditions.
He's working it.
He's driving, absolutely. But it was just interesting to watch him at that point. Neither Heinrichs or Slow could touch him on absolutely rooted rain tires. The guy's got amazing car control, and we were just given a stat. Think about this. The top 3 drivers right now out there, McDermott, Heinrichs, and Worth, 19 gold medals.
Wow.
Over the course of the years. Heinrichs got 11 alone, 4 of them in A Sedan. But just an amazing statistic. And that's gold. There's silvers and bronzes that we're not even throwing into that count. So this class has some amazing talent in it. And it's absolutely one of my favorites because to me, it's what Trans Am used to be. It really is. It is just great fun to watch. And
Cars sound,
listen
man,
to.
it sound good. Yeah. Sitting in front here, we're right here by the front straightaway, and just hearing those cars come by, and it sounds awesome.
And you know what that sound is, and I have to do this because there's a bunch of people in the Midwest division that are waiting for me to say this. Mm-hmm. That sound is called wooma.
Wooma.
Wooma. And that is exactly what a Sedan is all about, and it is a wonderful thing. And some great driving talent, to be sure. I mean, you got Heinersee and Jeff Worth in these level, and, of course, McDermott. Look at this battle. This is the battle for the bronze, folks. Worth, Levine, and a very aggressive Venhouse heading down into Canada Corner. This battle is on. Yeah, McDermott and Heinersee have some breathing room, but this one is fierce at this point.
I think Richardson might be having a problem. I mean, he was on it, and now it just seems like falling back a little bit. Just wonder if the car's running okay or something's not right. Maybe the brakes or something. Cause,
something's gone off, yeah.
We got a real race here going for their third spot.
Oh, Venhouse now moves to the right. He's the third car on this line, and he got it. Looked like a decent run on Levine coming out, and he moved right to try and do something with it, but then Levine just able to, looks maybe just outmotor him down the straight, and the same thing for Worth. And keep in mind, although I'm sure Worth is not necessarily thinking about it at this point, he's trying to keep that amazing run of never in the runoffs being out of the medals intact. And right now, Mike Levine is making that not so easy a prospect at this point. And Venhouse, it looks like Venhouse down that straight doesn't quite have the motor, but that car is working really well once they get from 5 all the way around into 14.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that 42 of Levine basically had either got good throttle on power, got a 14, or just has ponies.
Yep. And obviously, I mean, these are engines that are pretty well developed a little bit here. There certainly are limitations on what you can do just to try and keep the cost down, but they do make some pretty serious power. And as we go back in the pack a little bit, Wilmot, Lubosh, Aaron Bailey, this is a 12th, 13th, 14th area in terms of the battling unfolding right now. Ooh, and a move here. That's the number 32 of Kelly Lubosh trying to get around the 18 of Pat Wilmot. Got a good run up and over the Briggs & Stratton tunnel, which is indicated by that Briggs & Stratton little banner that runs across the top of the track. And he got through.
Man.
Oh! Was that Worth? And it looks like it's the number 7. That's at corner 7, so that's the that quick downhill left-hander, and that is a huge plume of smoke. And we're getting reports it was Jeff Worth. Oh, that amazing metal string is gone, along with apparently a V8 engine. That's sure a huge plume of smoke, and it must have gone. And as a result, we get a report that he did get into that wall on the inside on the exit of that turn. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. But holy cow, that was a big let-go right there of that engine. As we're continuing to watch Lubosh and Wilmot battle, he's gone by him, and then Wilmot got him again, and Lubosh now back through one more time. And they're heading into that pall of smoke back there as they come out of that turn.
I love those blip and downshifts on those big V8 cars.
Because on every blip, you hear some wooma. No, I'm not getting paid to say that by the word. Those guys, they have come up with stickers that say wooma. That a lot of these guys carry on the cars, and everybody who races them has them on their collars.
I always thought it was Wampa.
No, WHOOMAH.
Yeah, like Wampa Wampa.
Yeah. So here we go, and this is all right. We get a report. Jeff Worth now from the corner net. He is out of the car and is okay. But again, that amazing string of metal performances is done, and that's a tough thing. Jeff Worth, one of the class acts in club racing. I was announcing the runoffs back at Road Atlanta for a lot of years when he was winning those gold medals in GT5, and he was really a gentleman, one of the truly nice guys in the sport. And that is the number 8. This is the battle for 11th right now. Jerry Post feeling the heat. And right in front of him now, I think, is Tom West. And then you've got Pat Wilmot and Lubosh in that mix as well. There's some good stuff unfolding right here. Close concert racing. Oh, and he's got to think about it down into 14. And he made the move. Nice pass. That's Aaron Bailey. And Bailey has been marching up through the pack here in the last couple of laps. And he has gone by a couple of very quick guys, and you can see why. That was a great move that he made, Chip.
Yeah, I was just looking over here at the stats, and it looks like John Heinrichs has moved up a little bit. It was 8.5 seconds. Now it's down to 6.6. Typical Heinrichs, getting back, getting his car's probably coming in. He probably set it up for, if I know as well as I think I do, that car's set up from the lap 5 to 13.
13, yep.
Yeah. So it looks like he's cutting it a little bit, but then you look at the last lap time, and he was 0.3 slower. But we'll just keep an eye on it because you never know what Heinrich can pull out.
Absolutely. That's. By the way, Aaron Bailey, we were talking about last lap. He was 14th and he's 10th, so he has just driven. Bailey did a brilliant lap and moved up past a number of competitors right now. Look at Mike Levine just throwing that car around right now. There's a look at the John Heinrichs. His team is Heinrocket Racing. That's a great nickname, and he certainly has earned it. And look at McDermott now, just working his way through traffic, swinging it out and around at the exit of 13.
That Cadillac?
Yeah, that's the Cadillac CTSV of Scott Sanda.
That's awesome.
Yeah, new to this category, and it's still being developed. It's just not quite on the pace just yet, but it's a great car to have in the category, and they're working on it to bring it into the mix. And there is McDermott as he hustles it down the front straight and completes lap 6 of 13. Here comes Heinrichs, so we'll see what the margin was. It was 6 seconds last lap. What is it right now? About the same.
They're running the same times. 51.5, 51.5, 4.5, and a 51.443.
Here comes Heinrichs down underneath Sanda on the brakes into turn 1.
Look at him working. You see his hands in there working the wheel, just sawing away at mid-corner, just catching it the whole time.
Lots of little corrections all the way through. Tommy Kendall put it once. I remember he did a lap in Trans Am in qualifying, and it was well clear of everybody else. And I said, how do you do that? And his reply, I thought, was really telling. He said, I just made less mistakes than everybody else. And he said, because you make mistakes every lap. And he said, it's just near impossible. And he said, I just made a few less that time. And I thought that was a really good way to describe it. There is your leader, Andy McDermott. Is he on his way to his 6th gold medal? There is John Heinrichs. Is he able to get in and make a battle and a run for his 12th and 5th in A Sedan? Well, we're going to find out. We've got a lot of A Sedan racing yet to come here at Road America. This is some good stuff, folks. Stay with us. This portion of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, by Black Magic Car Care Products, and by Gumout, cleaning since 1945.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner helps restore lost horsepower and fuel economy. Just pour an entire bottle of Gumout Regain into your tank before your next fill-up. Powerful cleaning additives attach themselves to fuel system carbon deposits and safely and effectively lift them away. That way, deposits burn up, then pass through the exhaust. Gumout Regain additives even leave a protective barrier to help keep new deposits from forming for up to 3,000 miles. Get a bottle of Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner today for reduced engine hesitation, surging and knocking, as well as restored fuel economy and lost horsepower, all within one fill-up.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.
Welcome back to our coverage of the National Championship battle in a Sedan here at the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs at Road America. First year we're able to bring it to you in HD, and that's the courtesy of our folks at VW. And by the way, that car we're watching here, the machine of Pat Wilmot, number 18, a couple of cars behind that car. That's the 32 right there of Kelly Lubosh. And Lubosh giving a little bit of a run here. There is Pat Wilmot. See him carrying that little slide, right that last car on your screen. An amazing story, Chip. Young guy, and you ended up talking to him recently, and this is a pretty cool story.
Yeah, he's a karting kid, and we had a chance to talk a little bit, and we're friends on Facebook, and I told him, I said, if you ever have, I asked him about where did he plan on going, and he said this is what he was meant to do. He was meant to race cars, and so we talked a little bit about suspension, and he qualified 13th, and I asked him what his car was doing. I thought maybe if, give him any advice or whatever. It was already qualifying, was already over, but, nice kid. He's goal-oriented, and he wants to, move forward, and looking for sponsorship, of course, as always,
Yep.
and restricted budget. But this car is an old championship car, and it's an 89 Mustang. And, he has a business card, and he's doing the right things with social media and everything else. And it's the best thing about his card, at the bottom, it has all his contact info, but it says always looking for sponsorship or a ride.
Well, in this day and age, that's
there's
right.
somebody you just told me about. Was that Carl Edwards?
Yeah.
You never know who will read this card.
Yeah,
whose hand will get into.
Carl Edwards, for years at the old National Speed Sport News magazine, he had the lone ad in the back of that under Ride Wanted, and it was, we'll drive anything, give me a chance. And one day a guy named Jack Roush, who had seen that ad in there forever and had his annual gong show, invited Carl Edwards, and Edwards came in and smoked all of the big name drivers, and the rest is history. And you got to go on it. And in this day and age, it's the social media, like you said. You got to be savvy in that in this day and age if you're new and coming into it. And obviously, Wilmot doing that. 22 years old in his first runoffs, and boy, did he get thrown into the deep end of the pool, literally with all this water on the track, rain conditions out there. And at one point, he had cracked the top. I think he had cracked the top 10. He's back where he qualified in 13th. But I'll tell you what. Right now, he is going to graduate school in terms of racing right now, isn't he?
Well, he's running against the best of the best in the country.
Exactly.
McDermott, Heinrichsey, Slow.
Yeah.
These guys aren't just running one race; they're running a couple races here. I mean, Heinrichsey used to run T1, and I mean, everybody. I'm surprised people even showed up to race against him.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was dialed in.
Yep.
I mean, Aquilani, Joe's son, Andrew. He's right there with Heinrichsey.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? John taught him. He was his coach.
Yep. Well, I mean, Heinrichsey's got an immense pedigree, to be sure. And we're getting reports from around the track now. Rain is definitely picking up pretty much almost everywhere at this stage. And we can see that looking out of our booth window. We got that sort of mistiness off in the distance, and it is coming. So it's going to get more and more intriguing as we're working lap 9 of 13. 4 to go.
We're rain in there in 8.
Yeah, you could see it coming down. And you could see Heinrichsey really struggling, very, very careful
that
on
big
exit.
Slide.
Tell you what, he has not given up, and of course John never would. All right, that made it work. But that's what you're talking about. He took right to that white line. That's the sign of it.
Oh, big wiggle.
Now the kink.
That's a nice picture. That little sideways Firebird right there at the Hawk Performance Bridge.
Absolutely. Believe me, there's probably a photographer back there who just got that going.
With an umbrella.
Well, yeah, exactly. Dude, this stretch of track, well, I'll tell you, this is a daunting piece of real estate all the way from that carousel down, because you can see the walls are close, and you are carrying so much speed. And, of course, in this scenario, you drop a tire in the grass, the car literally picks up speed and gets you into those walls closer. So this is the time these guys really earn it. And obviously, you don't race for money in amateur racing. No prize money or the like. There's contingency money, and lots of it at the Runoffs from the suppliers and endemic sponsors that are all part of the industry, certainly. But these guys are doing it for a simple love of the sport. And Heinrichsey, I think now has he's the second winningest medalist in SCCA club racing at the Runoffs, second only to Jerry Hansen, who's, I think his records are going to stand pretty much forever. But this guy he is amazing man, and evergreen. He just does not seem to age, and certainly does not seem to slow down.
He lost some time there.
But yeah. But the rain now, we're seeing it pick up, and that tells you something about Andy McDermott, doesn't it? The rain's getting heavier, and his last lap was as quick as the one before it, and everybody else is off by 2 or 3 seconds because the rain's coming down. McDermott is he's a character too. He's one of the great guys in the sport. Just loves to get out there and hammer it. Boy, these are some nasty conditions.
Oh
in
no!
Levine.
Oh no! Right in Canada corner.
And in.
Keep going!
Yeah, sometimes no. You can see him hammering the wheel.
Frustration.
Yeah, he knew it.
That was a third-place podium spot. He was running right there.
Yep, and it was the reason was he was getting hounded once again by a very impressive this guy right here, Dave Venhouse, who was putting on a superb drive. Venhouse qualified in the 9th spot, quickly came up to the front, and has just been pressuring Levine, and he finally cracked. And Venhouse now will come by, and he is going to have himself a shot at a potential medal right now. And Richardson, who had been so quick early, is faded. He's about 8 seconds back of Venhouse at this stage. As we are again working 10 of 13 right now. Venhouse, he had a great run at the sprints, ended up second, and again it was not far back of McDermott. And whenever you keep Andy McDermott that close in your sights, you've done something. And everybody said, he may be somebody to watch here, and it has proven to be exactly that case. Richardson now 4th, and Tom Ellis, who's also had a strong run here. Tom qualified back in the 8th spot and has been up as high as 4th at one point, now sits 5th. And Levine falling down the order, although I think they'll get him hooked up to that gale and hauled out in pretty quick order. But you could see him pounding on that wheel. Boy, that to have gone this long and made it work, and then have that moment. And again, it's getting wetter, and track conditions change. Look at Venhouse.
Yeah, see, that's that curbing.
Yeah.
He did that in the first lap.
Exactly.
Richardson going to be right up on his bumper.
Yep.
That rumble strip, when we see these guys go over that braking and they hit that rumble strip, you're exactly right. It chatters the car, plus it's painted.
Yeah.
And it's off camber.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it's wrong.
Here's the replay.
Now, here's what happened to Levine.
He just basically he was braking online there, folks, and, he just got a little rear brake lock up. He probably just saw Venhouse coming here on his inside and showing the nose, and just try to make sure he got a little bit deeper so that Venhouse didn't have the inside. And once it locked up, you saw him hand over fist trying to save it. And once he got into a slide there, he just got a little too deep. Yep. And then he tried to get second gear and keep going and try to drive through the gravel, but it's tough. It is deep.
Well, and every once in a while you get a lot of rain, that gravel can actually get packed a little bit. You can drive through it, but not not this heavy a car. And by the way, when Heinrichs had his moment exiting the carousel, he had another one that we didn't see, and the report was that time he was off and on.
Oh.
So and was able to save it. And look at McDermott; he's just knifing through this pack right now, coming up through traffic. That's the 32 of Lubosch and the 8 of Post. So Heinrichs has now lapped up through the 9th spot.
Oh wow!
McDermott has lapped up through the 9th spot. What a drive he is putting on right now.
I think he knows that he's got to keep it up because Heinrichs is not he's been driving the wheels off of it.
Yeah. Although with that big moment, Heinrichs had that last lap, it cost him. McDermott ran a 2:52.2, Heinrichs a 3:04.1, and that was because of that moment that we didn't see back in turn 10, and the margin now is ballooned to almost 20 seconds. With about 2.5 laps to go. Boy, McDermott is doing just a superb drive. You almost wonder if he didn't have an intermediate on that car, not a slick, the way that he is. If he's doing this on slicks, we are seeing what makes Andy Dermott an incredibly special talent right now.
Yeah, it's definitely wet out there, and you can tell. Then again, he's a champion. He understands about smooth driving and brake early and carry. I mean, I think his crew's probably telling him that it was 8 seconds. Now it's 21. He could brake 3 car lengths early,
absolutely.
easy through, up a higher gear, and just cruise
Well, and like we saw with Greg Gopper in H Production, this is Andy's home track. He runs here, an awful lot. Not home track, but he runs here an immense amount. And he knows this track, and he knows it dry, he knows it damp, he knows it's soaking. And he's putting that knowledge to good use. But still, if he's doing this on slicks, this is really an amazing show. When you see all of these other guys, the twitching and the everything like that, and you see Heinrichsey, a guy of his caliber, struggling like that, and McDermott lapping the way he is, if he's doing it on slicks, wow, that's all I can say.
I think we're seeing a battle here for the 9th spot.
There we are.
It looks like is it Lubash?
Yeah, it's Lubash and Post.
It looks like he's a little bit quicker in some spots, but he's just hasn't found the proper spot. Coming out of Canada corner, Lubash was faster, but I saw him hit the brake lights and just give in and tuck back in. Probably just not the right time yet to pounce make a move.
And here's Richardson, who is now in the 4th spot after the off by Levine, just disappearing under this Johnsonville Bridge is Venhouse, who is in the bronze medal final podium position. So Richardson can see that again. Last time by, the margin between them was 4 seconds. So we'll see if Richardson now has anything left. He was awfully quick early, as you pointed out, then seemed to fade just a little bit, but now seems to be coming back at it.
Yeah, it seemed like the lap times dropped a little bit. He dropped under 3 minutes. His fast lap was 3 minutes, and now it's actually raining harder, and he went faster. So that tells me that he might not be on slicks.
Yeah, that's a good point. And after Heinrichsey in that 3-minute 4-second lap with that problem in the carousel, the next lap he uncorked a 2:54.8, so right back on a pretty good pace. The problem is McDermott turned to 2:51 again, and that ballooned that margin up to over 20 seconds. And Richardson
a little wide there.
Yeah, and you can see what those gator teeth do when you get that far out. It's very, very aggressive, and it gets that suspension sometimes into a nasty little harmonic for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they call gator teeth.
Oh boy, they bite. And on the inside of some of these apex, certainly down in Canada corner, you've got that apex curbing, that's that yellow and red, but inside of that is a very aggressive, it's just a white, and it's just a complete, it's like the Alps. And the exact reason for that is people were really cutting that corner, and they put those in. And actually had a Formula Ford hit that, got squeezed down onto that during one of the qualifying runs, and it snapped the suspension. So, whoa, does he save it? Well,
kinda. Yeah, kinda.
He didn't go around, so you call that a save, I guess. That was Post. And, boy, he and Lubash and that gang have had a great race.
That right there shows you what the dry line and what the outside rain line can do.
Yeah.
Heinrichsey caught him, come up beside him, and they both run the same speed and how loose he got. That just shows you the grip levels on similar cars.
Yeah, in the wet, it's backwards, basically, where you want to be on the track. And now Heinrichsey is coming up on Lubash.
He comes in, he brakes about car length and a half on the inside, where off the racing line. He's just driving the car. But he comes offline, and as he gets slowed down, he gets turned back in and tries to run the outside rain line to squeeze power back on to get down these straights.
And you almost try and diagonal cut across the actual race line when you do that, don't you?
You always want to be straight hand. You want to have the wheel straight in your hand. He's going across the line right now, and his hand was straight. But see how much he ring shotted it, got down to power, and how much he just gets a run on someone else.
Now that was Lubash, and you can see he got it all squirrely and had to actually dip the brake to get the back end to settle down.
But you do that every corner, and you can see the gap. We're talking 2-3 tenths.
Yeah.
So that could be a separation of a couple seconds a lap, easy.
And we're on our final lap, but as we started, Heinrichsey just turned his best lap of the last, say 6. He just turned a 2:52.3 to McDermott's 2:52.5. So that's the first time in a long while he's run quicker than McDermott. But McDermott, knowing he's on the last lap, is going to be very, very careful. Just stay off of every curb. Just give yourself plenty of margin of error, and up the hill he goes into turn 6, and possibly on his way to a 6th gold and a 2nd consecutive gold here in American Sedan. Yeah,
he's still using all the curbing and track out, and the car sounds good when he gets on it, though.
Yeah, well, I think he's got those pipes that cross over small diameter, which gives that V8 that great little high-pitched howl. But I think Andy's one of those guys. I've known him for a while too, and he said when I try and be too careful, that's when I start making mistakes. I get in the groove, I get in the focus, and that's where I want to be. And he's underneath the Johnsonville Bridge, then out to that nice wide arc through the carousel, heading up to the Hart Performance Bridge, and one last run through the kink. Here he comes. Plenty of margin in hand. Over 20-second lead he's built up right now. There's his last run through the kink. Nice. Well, I was going to say nice and easy, and then the back end swings around. So he's giving her. That's all there is to it. He's got the boot in it still, heading down into Canada Corner. And I hope Biz asks him when the time comes, just confirms what kind of tires he was on. Because if he was on intermediates, it makes him seem, human, that he was able to drive it. If he's on slicks, this is brilliance. The only way to
definitely
put it. Up through 13. Boy, he still is driving it, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. I mean, he knows he's got a big gap, but he also, like you said, he doesn't like to drive slow.
No.
So that's when he makes mistakes.
He finds, he likes the rhythm. And that WeatherTech Mustang with the Police Performance engines, as he hammers it up the hill, he's going to do it. His 6th gold, second in a row, an American Sedan, up and over the rise, and the lights are flashing. Andy McDermott has done it, and done it with a stunning, brilliant drive, and it's going to be a long ways here before we see that blue number 54 of John Heinrichsey come through. There he is, onto the front straight. That last lap by McDermott, well, he definitely eased it off just a little bit here. Here comes Heinrichsey heading up the hill, and he's going to add to that amazing medal collection he's got. Not the one John likes the most, obviously, but nonetheless, a great drive as he comes flashing through. And Venhouse, an absolutely superb drive. There's that Cadillac CTS-V of Sanda, and that's going to be a fun one to see develop. There's a look at Heinrichsey as he heads down, starting his cool-off lap. And watching for Dave Venhouse, who's still working through Canada and turned 13 in that part of the track.
There's
just
Pat,
a great story. Yeah, there's Wilmot. And the last couple of laps, he had moved up to the 11th spot. See where he ends up officially. He's got a guy coming up on him, but it's going to be close at the line. It's an out-and-out drag race. Oh, it's so close. Did he get it? He got it. 10th. Nice run by Pat Wilmot to end up in the 10th spot. Superb job for the young 22-year-old at his first runoffs. And like we said, boy, he took a graduate course in racing today with high horsepower, low grip, and rain. Amazing stuff. And there is Andy McDermott. By the way, Andy generally, he doesn't mind throwing a few donuts in on a cool-down lap. Well, maybe today, because of the conditions, he's not going to do it.
No smoky burnout. No, there's no smoke.
And there's no smoky burnout. Yeah. That's all right. He'll just let 13 laps of near perfection.
Yeah, it was a driving clinic he put on there.
Wasn't it? That's a great way to describe it, a clinic that he put on here. So, superb job. And to give you an idea of the lead that McDermott and Heinrichsey had over everybody else, they had lapped up through the top 6. McDermott had. Venhouse has not crossed the line. There is your bronze medalist. So, an amazing story. And Venhouse, again, just a great season he's been able to put together in that number 80. It's a great car. Absolutely brilliant machine, but he had 4 starts this year, podiumed every time out. The problem is that he's up against McDermott in Central Division, but he had a great run at the sprints. And here comes Andy McDermott, and just an amazing story. We didn't have anybody super sweep eligible because Andy did not top the points in the national level points title, just because, again, there's some of that's just participation numbers, not just where your finish is, and Andy didn't top it, so that took him out of a run at the Super Sweep. But boy, just a great drive here. He was second in Central Division points as well, so that wouldn't have made him eligible anyway. But his season, 4 starts, 4 wins.
That's awesome.
And now you add a 6th national championship. Pretty amazing stuff. And Michael Levine just came by and took the checker, so they got him out, and he was able to bring it home and at least finish. I'm sure a frustrating day for a very, very talented guy back in the 15th spot. And, of course, you have to ask, if Tom Slow had been able to weather those first few laps and be able to stay in the hunt, he certainly would have been a player as well, a very talented driver, but just did not go his way today. It certainly went this man's way. What a ride by Andy McDermott in that WeatherTech Police Performance Engines machine as he comes in and parks in front of, I hope, a semi-dry John Bizignano. as he is getting ready to do the interview. We'll get the call as soon as Andy gets the gloves and the helmet off, and going to get ready to talk to him. It looks like Biz is about ready. Biz, well, I'll tell you what, the professor has just pulled into pit lane.
Professor has pulled into the pit lane. Andy, I got to congratulate you on your 6th gold medal. What a beautiful drive without the best conditions out there. You look steady as a rock all the way around. Take us through it.
Well, I knew I had John Heinrichs right on my backside, so I better get with the program. And the start worked out pretty good for us. John was able to follow us through, and there was a little dicing. And once we got on into 5, it seemed to straighten itself out. So, but I knew I had John on my butt, so I better get rolling.
Well, let's make this official. Here comes the gold medal. And of course, your Hoosier turtleneck goes on first, and the gold medal from Bonnie. Congratulations, 6 gold medals. What does it take to win 6 gold medals? Some people, like maybe Dorsey Schrader, he was here 16 times and never won a thing. What does it take to win 6 gold medals?
Well, Dorsey is awesome and a friend of mine, so it takes an awesome crew. It really does. That is the bottom line. I mean, you've got sponsors like WeatherTech and Hoosier and Felice Performance Engines and Innovative Computer Services, Redline Oil, Carbotech Brakes. The list goes on and on and on and on. These guys help us out, and the bottom line is it takes an awesome crew, and my crew's responsible. All I got to do is drive it.
Looks like you were on the Hoosier slicks. At one point, did you ever wish that you had put on another tire?
No. The things were perfect the whole race, and when the rain came, I knew we still had a rain line, and I knew we were in good shape.
Congratulations to you and your crew. I think you have to give yourself a little more credit. All you do is drive it. Well, you did it beautifully today. Congratulations.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, 2nd place. Well, of course, we're talking about medals here. There's no one that I know of with more medals than this gentleman in recent time, anyway. Medal number 12 for John. Here comes your Hoosier. Let's get it upside right. Hey, buddy, how are you? All right?
How are you doing?
Good to see you right back where you belong.
Yeah, that's fun.
I'll tell you, a little bit of slipping and sliding in the beginning. And how much rain did you get on the back of the circuit?
Quite a bit, actually. It started raining down here in turn 1. It started first going into 5, and then it backed up to 3, and then it started raining in turn 1, and then later it started raining in the carousel on the kink. So, but by the time you got to Canada corner, it was back, and this part of it kind of stayed the way it was. So
let's get that silver medal on you and make this official. But
yeah, it was unpredictable for everybody. So,
but John, you seem to be pushing hard, right? It's still at the very end.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I figured you never know what's going to happen, so you don't ever give up. And that's the way I drive, and the way my philosophy is, you don't ever give up.
What are you going to do about that white car in front of you next?
Well, we just have to try harder. Yeah,
congratulations.
Andy did a great job.
All right, and the number 3rd place gentleman, of course, car number 80, getting a big congratulatory hug from, I'm sure, a very happy crew. David, my gosh, congratulations on a nice bronze medal. Where's our bronze medal? Let's make it official here. You look better with a medal around your neck, buddy?
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you. I got to thank so many people for
Well, let's get started then.
Paul Meyer and my entire crew, the Meyer guys, they're awesome. The Reagan brothers, they were awesome. Les and Holly Wagner, Louisa, they're all awesome. Oh my God, there's more Felice Racing Engines, TNA Shocks. The guys over at the McDermott camp, they're always great for advice. This is just an absolute blast. So
people like that actually share information, do they?
Oh yeah. Oh, they do. They absolutely do. So good guys to race with. A really great group to race with.
A smile must have come on your face when you saw that 42 off in the kitty litter.
Yeah, we kept pushing and pushing. We lost a cylinder in the first lap, and so we were down a cylinder the entire race trying to push it and push it and push it. But yeah, I pushed him back into 12, and when I saw him loop around, I saw his number on his door. I thought, okay, here we go. So
okay, well, congratulations on a great bronze, and congratulations to that crew of yours.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, Detroit Metal down here. They sound great. I'm going to be waiting for this sound for 12 months until next year.
Yep. That is Andy McDermott's method of celebrating. That is wide open Wooma. And, boy, that is such great fun, and what a great sound to be sure. And, hey, they're slicks. They're rooted anyway. You don't have to drive it again for a while. Burn them off. But, Chip, I want to get your impressions. That was down at turn 5 as he was having some fun. He did that on slicks, man.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the slicks they're amazing to dry. They're okay in a damp, expecting to go dry. But I tell you what, when he drove that in the rain, I mean, John said it was raining pretty much the whole track. It was moving. The storm was moving around. That takes talent to go into in knowing. So these guys had to break early, and they don't know what they're going into.
Absolutely. Here's a look at the unofficial results. McDermott, the gold, his 6th. Heinrichs, another medal. And then Dave Venhouse brings home the bronze. Richardson, who was in it, sort of up and down, but in it, 4th. Tom Ellis, a consistent drive to 5th. Bailey, a good one. Wheeler, West, Lubosh, and the young man, Pat Wilmot. That's a great story. His first runoffs in these conditions up into the top 10. Well done indeed. You take a look at the rest of the field here, and you see Jeff Worth, that amazing run of never being out of the medals at any runoff he ever contested, now done. And an unfortunate deal, and it was an engine that let go. It wasn't a mistake or anything like that. So then Tom Slow had his problems, a couple of visits to the gravel, an unfortunate deal. So just an amazing race in these conditions, and Andy McDermott continuing to enjoy, for the 6th time, the lap of honor with a gold medal around his neck at the runoffs. And I don't think it's any more special than it is at your home track, the one you love to drive. And he loves Road America under that Hawk Performance Bridge, and savoring this moment. By the way, when he gets into Victory Circle, the presentation will be done there by the Area 3 director on the board of directors, the Sports Car Club of America, Robin Langlots. And she will also be presenting the trophy for H Production, which we had just before this race. So the board of directors of SCCA, a very special group that look after all of the areas within the 9 divisions that make up this great sports car club, and they represent their members, and they do a phenomenal job. And boy, Andy McDermott, this is so special. I know this means a lot, and I don't think it ever, obviously, when you're on a nice dry track and are flogging it, that's great. But when you do, I think he's going to light them up again for the workers. Yeah, there it is. When you do it in these conditions, over a guy like Heinrichs, over a guy like Tom Slow, over a guy like Venhouse, this is very, very special. And Andy, he does this for the workers. He knows that these workers do so much. Look at him giving them the big thumbs up. That's the way he celebrates with the workers. And what a great story it is. Andy McDermott, for the 6th time, gold medalist in a sedan at the SCCA National Championships. This portion of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, by Black Magic Car Care Products, and by Gumout, cleaning since 1945.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner helps restore lost horsepower and fuel economy. Just pour an entire bottle of Gumout Regain into your tank before your next fill-up. Powerful cleaning additives attach themselves to fuel system carbon deposits and safely and effectively lift them away. That way, deposits burn up, then pass through the exhaust. Gumout Regain additives even leave a protective barrier to help keep new deposits from forming for up to 3,000 miles. Get a bottle of Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner today for reduced engine hesitation, surging and knocking, as well as restored fuel economy and lost horsepower, all within one fill-up.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.